scholars are allowed on their turf. We must be on the gravel.
Oh.
A lady is only welcome if she's accompanied by a fellow of the college or furnished with a letter of introduction. Please come back another day.
That a famous library has been cursed by a woman is a matter of complete indifference to a famous library. Regardless, I must continue working on my speech, which I have decided will be about what women need in order to be independent as writers. So, as I'm sure you can guess from the clips that you just watched, these difficulties that Woolf faces are typical for a female writer during the time that she wrote A Room of One's Own, which, as you saw at the beginning of the video, was during the 1920s in England. So this book was originally a speech given directly to aspiring female writers and academics. So Woolf's main argument throughout the book makes sure to emphasize the point that in order for women to successfully write, they need a stable wage and a room of their own, which a room of their own is kind of a literal place to write their ideas, but it's also the idea of independence within society to be able to write and have their writing supported by publishers. Every man who has written these books is angry, and so many men have written about women and their inferiority, but almost no women have written about men. I cannot find a single female poet from the Elizabethan era, but she must have existed. Imagine that Shakespeare had a sister who matched his talent in every way, and the only difference between the two was gender. Her name is Judith, and she wants to write plays and be an actress. What was her life like? Judith must hide the fact that she is reading or writing. These are unusual activities for a girl her age, and her parents would take her pens and pages away from her if they knew. Her brother, William, also enjoys writing, but he goes to school, and writing is not strange for a boy. After choosing not to get married, Judith has forsaken her family, and as a result, she has chosen to run away. She plans to become a playwright or an actor. I would like to audition for the play.
A poodle cannot dance and a woman cannot act, and a woman will never be an actress. Leave.
Judith's story does not end here. Nick Green, the actor-manager, took pity on her. She found herself with child by that gentleman, and so killed herself one winter's night and lies buried at some crossroads, where the omnibuses now stop outside the Elephant and Castle. So, as you've seen from this scenario that Woolf created, Judith's story is a harsh reminder that women have been disadvantaged in their ability to write and to independently make decisions. And the idea that Judith could not have survived in Elizabethan society just illustrates that many women at the time found education inaccessible and were unable to become the writer that they wanted to be, which often, because of their desire to write and be creative, that was just that they were prevented from doing so much, ultimately led for many of them to be either outcasts or to find themselves unable to live. Clearly, the world was unprepared for a female writer or any woman who was willing to take control of her life. But I think Judith's same genius lies in many women today. In fact, every time you read about a witch burned at the stake, a woman possessed by a devil, or a remarkable man with a mother, there was really a suppressed poet or a Jane Austen or Emily Bronte who found herself unable to write because society would not allow it. Anon was a woman. Now, but my belief is that this poet, who never wrote a word and was buried at the crossroads, still lives. She lives in you and in me, and in many other women who are not here tonight, for they are washing up dishes and putting children to bed. As Virginia illustrated in her time, we were losing fantastic novelists and poets to the oppression of society. Today, many young girls and women struggle to obtain an education. How many writers, inventors, composers, mathematicians, scientists, and uncountable numbers of talented women are we losing simply because they were born into a society that did not allow them to learn because they were born as women?